Hey guys, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday. I'm your hostess, Jocelyn. Today is Season 3, Episode 19, Against All Odds. Of course, as usual, I have some amazing guests coming out with me. I want to thank you guys all for joining. We're live from DG Studios as normal, as you guys already know. And today is, what's today? January 10th? 9th? Whatever. Anyway, so let's discuss without further ado. So this H&M campaign. Y'all stressing me out. Y'all are posting it everywhere. Everybody wants to talk about it, and everybody has all these things to say. If you have been under a rock and you don't know what's going on with the H&M campaign, they posted, there's a young African-American boy wearing a hoodie that says, coolest monkey in the jungle, or something along those lines. It was very frowned upon by the African-American community, and a lot of people are saying we should boycott H&M, and you know they knew better, and this is racist, etc., 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 etc. I do agree. It was very distasteful. They should have known better. But the thing that bothers me about this, the only reason that I'm even warranted with the conversation, is because we have the tendency, and I say we, not just colored people, but we in general have the tendency of just talking about things when they come up. Do you guys not know that Louis Vuitton is racist? You know, all the Asians are racist, and y'all shop there all the time. Like, it's racism is out there. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's okay. But don't keep waiting until things happen and it's just like, oh, the wave is now, let's boycott H&M. Because there's no way y'all are boycotting them $3 t-shirts, them little $7 dresses, them little $13 jeans. Like, stop it. Y'all not going to boycott anything. Y'all going to keep on posting the shit and still go down there because they're having 80% off sale down on Chestnut Street. So I don't like that everybody is saying y'all going to boycott H&M, because I know that once this is over, by the weekend, everybody's going to forget all about it. Also, let's discuss Oprah for president. Stop that. Stop it. Is Oprah dope? Yes. She is like the shero to not even black women. She's the shero. Oprah is the shit. She is the first African-American female billionaire or whatever she is. But she's not presidential. What is the word I'm looking for? Like, she's not presidential material at all. And granted, we're in a scenario where, you know, we don't have the most eligible and qualified president at the moment, but I don't want that to be a trend. I don't want this to continue to be something that we just do. Oprah is decent. Oprah is dope. If she runs for president, I'll be highly disappointed, because that's just not the move. So that's less discussed. Those are the things that I wanted to talk about today. If you guys have any comments regarding that, feel free to comment below. Y'all can always DM me or inbox me or comment on any of my videos if you ever have any questions, comments, topic suggestions. But we're going to get right into the show. I have my first guest coming up, Mr. Moses the Comic. He's like self-renowned, so he's going to just introduce himself because he's funny as hell. And, you know, come on up.
Oh, that's my intro?
That's your intro, baby. That's
what's that applause music? All right.
They hear it. They hear it. Y'all are clapping. Y'all are clapping as he comes on, right? Well, hello, sir.
Immaculate as usual.
Thank you. Same here.
Immaculate.
Yeah, you're looking lovely.
Thank you.
We went to high school together, guys.
We did. That was over 10 years ago.
Oh, over. Well
over. Not well. That's within reach. But it was 10 years ago.
10 plus.
Overbrook. Class of.
Fuck it. I'm proud. One of the classes. We're not saying it?
No, we're not going to say it. No.
But they're just going to go on our pages and look.
We done we done well for ourselves.
I think so.
Pretty damn good, because some of them in jail, and some of them not doing too well. Some of them actually went back to Overbrook. So we done just some good shit.
We doing things. I mean, with you're doing things.
I do a little bit.
You're doing like things, like with the strong T's that some black folks use.
I'm blessed.
You're blessed.
I've been blessed, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like who for anybody who could possibly not know who you are.
I mean, I'm kind of a big deal. I don't know if they know, you know.
Because I know.
You know what I'm saying? I've been doing comedy for almost 8 years now.
I think you should take it back. I mean, again, we're not saying when we started in high school, but
not at all.
I think you've always been funny as fuck to me.
Yeah. You know what? It's when I was in high school, I was the class clown.
Mm-hmm.
I think now what I I just figured out how to like put a title with that.
Right.
But I really feel like this is my purpose. I'm walking in my purpose now. And, some of the best advice I ever got was figuring out what you love to do and then find a way to get people to pay you for it. So
pretty much.
Come on now.
Pretty much. Just put a title on it and then
put that title on there. That's what I'm saying. Then put a price tag on it.
And then the tax.
Then the tax. You got to put the tax on there. 8%.
Because it's America.
Yeah, 8%.
8%.
I don't know. 8%. Off the top. But no, it's been a hell of a journey, man. I've been fortunate to when I started in 2010, I want to say, 9 or 10, at the Laugh House, of course, famous Laugh House here in Philly. Closed down now, but some greats got started there, man. Of course, Kevin Hart and King of Philly type of thing. But yeah, I got on a double dare. Double dared to go down there, and my oldest brother, funny story, my oldest brother has a group in Philly, Kindred the Family Soul, husband and singer group, yeah.
I never
Go check Kindred out, far away from here.
I love them!
I wrote that.
You didn't?
I didn't, but I wrote it down in a book, and it was already out, though. Okay. But no, he double dared me to go down to the Laugh House. They had a thing called Funny Money Wednesdays.
Wow.
Yeah, man, the guy named Sugar Bear was hosting, so we went down there, and
so was it like an amateur night type thing?
It wasn't. It was like an open mic type of thing.
Okay.
They would do an open mic during the first half, and then they would have like the real people come out.
Right. The already established.
The already established guys.
Okay.
So I was the first half of the show. So and they would, when you was on stage, they would pass a bucket around. It was called Funny Money. So if you was funny, they would put money in the bucket. I made $60 my first night.
Yes,
That's all I'm saying.
I like that.
That was like a chicken wing platter, a couple of Lucy's.
Yeah, because $60, especially in 2009, 10. I don't know what it could get you now. They can't even get you a bundle. Well, some of the bundles are $60 a bundle if you at the right.
Is that Beverly Johnson? Because you're not getting no Remy with 60.
No,
half pack.
Half pack.
Half pack.
Or maybe if it was like 12 inch.
Okay. I think maybe 4.5 with you just getting like that little oxtail in the back for $60. Okay. That's what that is.
So that's how you got started with doing comedy.
Yeah, that's how I got started, man. And it just kind of snowballed from there. I actually started touring with Kevin Hart, man. He took me on the road with him, yeah. And so those first couple of years, really just trying to find my voice. I was kind of raunchy back then. I used to do a show called "Fuck This Shit." Yeah, it was a web show like this, or
I should probably find it.
No, they're all blocked now because I do just clean comedy. But I would interview celebrities on things that make them want to say "fuck this shit." So we had actually in the last episode I had Charlie Murphy on there. So we had Monique, Snoop Dogg, Avant, Raheem DeVaughn. Some great people on there. All the big names, yeah, man. But I had to clean my act up. Yeah, I had to clean it up.
Well, that happens. But you're still funny.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. But it's been a blessing. So for the past 3 or 4 years, I've been doing, I guess, quote unquote, faith-based comedy. And all that means is people get weirded out when they say, they're like, which faith? So it's just clean comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, I just do clean. Obviously, I'm Muslim.
Right. Obviously.
Not obviously.
First of all, let me discuss.
I mean, come on. Can't you tell?
Because you got a beard. But I'm going to say,
right
and I don't talk about my religion on camera or anything like that, but I'm not Muslim.
I got you.
And your name is Moses the Comic.
Yeah.
Is that not like a little blasphemous?
What's funny is when I first started comedy, my first joke was exactly what you just said. Okay. So my name is Musa. It's Arabic. It means Moses in English. So I used to tell a joke about, which was a true story. My father, he passed away, but when I told him I was going to be a comedian, he got upset that I was calling myself Moses. And I asked him why, and I said, he said because it's, that was the name of the prophet, and it's blasphemous. I said, well, you named me Musa. It means
which
Moses.
Is the same thing.
I'm like, has my whole life been one big blaspheme? And he looked me in the face and said, yes, it has been. So
you might as well take that. And again, add text to that.
Yeah, text to it.
And he's learning how to.
The text was the comic. It's Moses the comic. So not the prophet. Okay. I split a few Red Seas in my day, though. Just so you know. We're going to edit that part out. I don't want nobody to see that I'm a clean comic now. But I clean my act up.
And it's still working.
It's still working, man. You know what? Getting a clean routine and going faith-based, it took me around the world. I've toured internationally in the past 3 or 4 years, much more than I was doing beforehand. But it really just kind of helped me to hone my voice on stage and really just connect with. It's authentically me now. When I'm able to go out and really just kind of be who I am, whether it's the faith-based market or just the mainstream market, it's
like you're still funny. If you're funny,
it's funny. So the same set that I do in those markets is the same set that I go to the comedy clubs and do.
Okay. So guys, that's just another example how you don't necessarily have to be raunchy, especially with the comedy. It does. Some people do think you have to do, a whole bunch of like curse word drills and calling women bitches and this and this and that. Even with, I've seen something recently with a lot of the comics now. How are you feeling about like the comedians, up and coming comedians in the Instagram era, and they're like wearing the wigs and stuff like that.
I can't get down with it. I got mad love for all the Instagram comics and stuff. And we're trying to find this synergy that kind of need to exist between traditional stand-up comedians and social media comedians, because we need that. We need to build our brands on social media, and they want to build their brands on stage. So I love it. However, some of the stuff that they do, I just feel like is just a little too slapstick for me. I'm just like vehemently against black men in dresses and wigs. You know, I just feel like for the culture, it's just not a good look.
It's not a good look.
And then some things I just feel like you don't have to do too much for the laugh. It's like you ain't got to just goon and buffoon.
Yeah, because it gives me blackface vibes. It's just like you're acting like an asshole.
Yeah, just minstrel shows type stuff. So,
yeah,
I don't get down with that. But it's some Instagram comedians, not just Instagram, social media in general, that's really killing. I was reading the Forbes list the other day of the YouTubers and comedians wise. That's made the number one dude on there is $15 million of YouTube. Like, it's a 7-year-old on there that's reviewing toys that made about $6 million. So I told my 8-year-old he need to step his shit up.
Right.
Okay.
Get you some better toys. You need to start talking about.
That's what it is. That's what he said. Give me some better toys. I'll review them. So he's on punishment right now. Okay, because I can't afford nothing better. Okay, so but
well, you gotta teach him how to flip on whatever.
He's like he got this little fidget spinner business that he's doing right now, trying to sell the fidget spinners.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I take 60%, which is only right. I let him keep the 40.
Okay.
That's his.
Just why not?
Because I fronted the money.
So
I need
like
to.
You gotta learn eventually.
This is commerce at its best. Okay, so yeah, he's learning, and we're trying to teach him. So he wants to be a comedian too.
Oh wow!
Yeah, his name is Caleb, man. So he wants to be a comedian. He makes up his little jokes, and he has a joke that I actually tell his joke at the end of my set down, and he says, "What do you call a camel with 3 humps?" Pregnant.
Oh, that's so cute.
There you go.
And
That was
how
his
old
first
is
little
he?
joke. He'll be 8 in like 2 weeks.
Oh, shout out to Caleb.
Shout out to Caleb out there.
That was a funny joke because I was stuck.
He was stuck for a second.
I was.
That's that bottom hump.
Oh,
the top humps, and then that bottom hump.
Because of course you just automatically think it's 3 humps at the top.
There you go. No, that bottom hump. That's what it is.
Now y'all know what you call a pregnant camel. So we got that.
Yeah.
We have our next guest coming up. We have Miss Akea Pearson, the author of Mommy Wake Up. She's coming to tell us about her book.
Wake up, mommy.
Hey y'all.
Hey, girl.
Yes. Co-wrote by me. I'm a silent partner in that.
Oh, okay. No, you don't get no proceeds.
That's what.
Yeah, because he don't want to ain't no 60% of your shit.
That's true.
No payment.
No.
No, I'm supposed to.
Oh yeah,
I meant to do that.
I'm so embarrassed. Let me go ahead and let you sit there. Okay. Put me in my place.
So hey, girl. Hey.
Hey.
I'm just talking you out. I'm so glad to finally meet you.
Thank you. You
What's
too.
up? You need to show.
Oh,
It's a little chill in here.
Wake up, mommy.
No, mommy, wake up.
Mommy, wake up.
Mommy, wake up.
Get it right.
So what? Please, tell me.
So, well, first of all, I have a nonprofit organization. Prior to Mommy Wake Up, I started a nonprofit organization called Akea,
Okay.
which deals with adjudicated youth, young adults, at-risk teens, teenage parents, all in the city of Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
So what it is I go out to different facilities and I do programming and workshop with youth. And then I'm also a domestic violence counselor. So with my background story and my domestic violence counseling experience came Mommy Wake Up.
Okay.
Yep. So Mommy Wake Up is about an 8-year-old girl who experiences different emotions and feelings around watching her mom be abused by her stepdad.
Okay.
It's a really, really serious book. So I always encourage people, if you're going to get the book and you have a child 8 years old or younger, to just be aware of questions. Because it's really a conversation starter. It's not meant for a child to read the book alone.
Okay.
It is a conversation starter. So for an adult to be able to have a conversation with a child about domestic violence.
Wow. That's heavy. Because when I first heard about your book,
Really?
when I first heard about you, period, Lex Dom. Shout out to Lex Dom. Love you, Lex.
Hey, girl.
And she, we talked a little bit about it on camera, like when she just shot you out, during her interview. But, when I spoke to her off camera, she just told me, and I'm just like, what? Like, it was amazing. I was just like, I have got to meet her. Like, I have got to meet her and just get the background. So the story itself, I know you're saying, like, you have already had this background as far as, like, your work. Is any of this, like, personal as well?
Yeah,
or
so
okay.
my biological father killed my mother when I was younger. So I'm telling the book now, but
Okay.
The mom
Still go get it.
Yes, the mom is killed in the book by the abusive partner. So that is it's not my story.
Right.
It's taken from some of my experiences,
right.
and then some of my sister was also in an abusive relationship, and all I knew in my mind was that okay, she's going to die, because what I knew about domestic violence is they don't survive. So when she went through a domestic violence relationship, that was something that really like plagued on me. I didn't say anything because I didn't know what to say or how to express myself.
Right.
So I kind of grew up with the feelings of just like being alone and not really having anyone to talk to. So I started to write down things. I started writing poetry.
Okay.
And what I would do as a kid, which I now know is terrible, but I would just write it and I would throw it in the trash.
Oh,
That was the way for me to get it out of me, then
Right.
I would be okay. Now I know I could have made millions.
Well, yeah, you could have got that check.
Me.
But I do know that on a therapeutic note, that, you know, a lot of people, I actually practice that as well. Like, if it's something I just have something to say, it's just like, I'll write it, and like, I might not be in a position to have a conversation about it. It's just like, I gotta get this off of me. So I think that was a good coping mechanism as a child, at least.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Of course, you could have made a lot of money, but, you know, at the time, it worked to get you where you were.
It did. It really did. It was an awesome coping skill, and I use it a lot in my organization, just telling, you know, and just kind of encouraging people to write down things, because you do get it off of you. It is something, if you can't stop thinking about it and it's consuming your thoughts, let it out. And don't throw it away.
Right. Hold on to it, because the little poems be hitting.
I mean, but yeah, just let it out, and then you can always reflect back on it.
Yeah.
So that's something that I wish that I would have still had somebody so that I could reflect back on some things that I was feeling.
And because it allows you to be able to help somebody else, because then you have that story.
Like to see how far you've grown.
Yeah. Wow. So do you have children?
I have 3 children.
Wow.
I want you to guess my oldest age.
Why you want me to guess?
No one ever believes me.
I don't want you to guess my oldest age.
Don't go too far, man.
I was about to say, I don't want to. Y'all guess her oldest child's age. If anybody knows, just tell me, because I don't want to be put on the
Because
spot.
I'm really only 19.
Right. Clearly you're only 19. And like her birthday was like last week, 19.
Of course.
Yeah.
So obviously.
My birthday is every Thursday. No, my oldest is 14.
Somebody said
So-
5, but
5. See, yes, it's 19.
Yeah, I know that's right. No, I have a 14-year-old son.
Okay.
Which I was a teenage parent, which is why that is a population that I relate to
Right.
a lot, because that was something that I went through. 11, and then I have my youngest daughter will be 8 on the 26th of this
Oh,
month.
wow, we have similar ages. I just don't have 3 kids. I don't got to.
Yeah, my son's the 30th, so they right there. He'd be 8.
Ooh. Oh, the 30th, but I thought you were the 30th child.
Oh my God.
What? She done gave you 30. Yeah, because we
Let's
gonna
get
find out.
Dr. Gosnell on the phone. You know that name. Oh.
I don't know him. I don't know who that is. She's laughing. I don't know.
She's like, I can't confirm nor deny that was my doctor.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know either. So wow, so 14 years. So are your kids like involved in like your organization?
Yes, they are. My son could care less one way or the other. I kind of make him, get involved and do things. My children are very, very, very spoiled.
Okay.
Because growing up, I can't say now that I had a terrible life, but I did have a confused life. So I didn't find out that my mother was killed by my father until I was 8.
Oh.
So up until then, I believed that my aunt, which is the one who raised me, was my mom. And my next door neighbor told me that she was.
So it was something that happened very early on in your life.
I was 5 months old.
Okay.
When it happened.
Not that. Okay, that's great, but okay.
Yes, no,
okay, that makes more sense. Yeah.
So I always say that I never met her, because 5 months old, what can I remember? And then I never met him. I have met him. He did 5 years in prison, my father, and then
That's it. I mean,
Yes.
sorry, I don't know. How is that? Like, what
it
type?
happened.
Like, that has to be, and I don't want to get too deep into it because that is heavy. But, even just that.
So it's called a crime of passion.
Okay.
Now they, it's manslaughter.
Because SVU, if you think about it, SVU, they'll get them off.
Yeah,
They'll get them off.
They get them off. Yeah. So that was that. I'm not really going to waste any of my time talking about him.
Of course, I understand.
But
do you guys have a relationship or no?
right now we don't.
Okay, and that's not something that you prefer to have.
It's not something that I'm going to create.
Okay.
I feel like you took something away from me. You should be reaching out to me.
Right.
So if you're watching, don't reach out to me now, because I'm like Jay-Z and Beyonce famous.
Because she's lit
Wait a
now,
minute.
and she's not interested. But yes, well, your story is incredible. Like, where can we get the book? Like,
so the book, you can get the book on mommywakeupbook.com or on my website, akeasmartinc.org. I am very local. I am still around. I am not that big that I'm not touchable or reachable.
Because I didn't touch the.
You can DM me. You can Instagram me. You can Facebook me. I'm still around. I haven't got there yet, but hold on. Because
and you have hard copies, so
I
like you do deliveries and stuff like that. Okay.
I don't do deliveries. I will ship this next door because I just don't have time.
She says I'm around, but I ain't around. I ain't coming to meet you at ShopRite with these damn books.
People don't show up, and I can't be bothered.
Okay.
Yeah. So you you buy the book, and I will ship it out to you.
Okay. There you go.
Mommy, wake up.
And mommy, wake up.
Mommy, right? Not wake up, mommy, because you keep calling her.
He
keeps calling her wake up, mommy.
When was it published?
It was published in October.
This past October.
This book October. So October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Right.
So I wanted to make sure that this book was able to get out during October, during Domestic Violence Awareness Month, because it just made sense.
So I do have a question, because like with such an extensive history and past with the domestic violence, why now for the book?
To be 100% honest, this was a thing where I had to get it out of me. I woke up one day and I wrote, and literally in my phone, in my notes, I wrote this poem, and then I went on about my day. I came home, I could not sleep. I had to write more, so I wrote more, and then it was just sitting on my dresser. My sister came over, I think she was like cleaning up or something. She was like, "You writing a book?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "What's this?"
Looked like a book to me.
I read it again, filled in some names, and Mommy Wake Up.
Wow.
Literally took me 20 minutes to write.
That's lit. Don't try that at home.
Don't ask me to do it again.
Right. so there's no.
We need a part 2 and 3.
Yeah, no.
Ain't none of that. Because it really was just something that you had to get off. So it's more personal.
It's very personal.
It's just like, I have to get this off of me.
And that happens a lot with work, because I'm a domestic violence counselor, so I have clients who come in and they're like, "Oh, my kids don't know what's going on. They can't hear us arguing. They can't hear us fighting."
It's just like bullshit.
I literally gave this book to a client who had a 4-year-old daughter who cannot read a word, and she was able to identify with each page.
Wow.
So that was just the show. Like, I kind of did this she do know what's going on. Like,
Exactly.
Stop counting this baby out, because she can hear everything that you guys are doing. Every fight. It's just that she's so used to you guys fighting that
she don't know that it's wrong.
She don't even get up to see what's going on.
And that's very important, guys. That's something, that's the main reason that I wanted to bring on the show, because a lot of people don't have that concept, because by it being told from a child's perspective, it's just like you really don't understand and realize what these kids are experiencing. I can't say for sure if I've had that experience, but I just know that I know so many adults that have been in that scenario as children, and they just don't get it. And then they just turn it to be abusive adults or abused adults, anything like that, because it's just never being addressed. So definitely get the book, Mommy Wake Up. We have our next guest coming up, and then we're going to get them all on the couch together, and then so we have Miss Solo D. Cloud. She's just so popping. And, she's going to come and tell us about, you don't bring the coffee, honey.
Man, it's something good in here.
Could you just leave it? She got to be difficult, whatever. She's acting real, giving me artist vibes, okay? This is Beyonce walking in, or
I ain't bring the bottle.
we had wine and water.
Yeah, I'm
You could have came this way, or y'all kind of squished on the couch. I could have let y'all sit.
No, we good.
Because you want to be that close. What's that you married?
I just wanted to be close to
Uh-uh.
the kid. Wait a minute now.
Like,
Now you
I
wait a
don't know what
minute.
her situation is.
Mommy, wake up together.
I'm single, but
Oh, mine is single.
Okay.
Oh, and he said he can have multiple wives, so we're
Part 2.
I don't need nobody coming to me as a woman.
We don't do that. Not in 2018. Ain't nobody coming to nobody else.
Mommy is
Hello,
cool.
ma'am.
How you doing?
How are you?
How are you?
I'm great. It looks nice.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so what's up? I mean, I know you're a little late and you're drinking your little coffee, but tell the people. Tell the people who you are.
Oh man, this Cloudy Solo. Y'all should already know though. If you don't know, we gonna learn today.
Straight like that.
No intro.
No intro. Just that's it.
Well, what else you wanna?
What you want to tell us? Like, who are you? What do you do? You seem to do so much.
I'm a jack of all trades, master at everything I do. I'm a singer, rapper, songwriter. Used to break dance back in the day.
Oh.
Spit on my head a little bit.
Uh-oh.
That's why I'm so big now.
Okay.
That explains.
I don't know, man. I'm an artist.
And you just said about your shit?
Oh yeah, about everything.
Okay.
About everything. Yeah, I'm a musician, man.
You're just a musician. You just do what you do.
Yeah, pretty much.
I see you got a new single out.
I do.
Abby, tell us about the single.
Pray. Just dropped December 26th. It's featuring a good friend of mine named Ralph Liddy. Pray is just like, it's just like something you need in your life right now. It's just something to just talk to the people, and it's just like an introductory into what's to follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's to follow from you or just period?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Definitely both.
Because pray, of course, that's a heavy title. Like you saying, prayer is what you need right now. Like, is that the song is what you need, or is it like based around pray, or is it pray like EY or AY?
It's pray like AY, but it's really an EY thing.
Okay, because I was listening to it, I'm like, this is giving me EY vibes.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna give you EY vibes, but you definitely need the AY
Okay.
as well.
You see how our language, we got a little language we got created.
It's a little contradiction going on there, but
okay.
you gonna get both of them
Okay.
in some way or another.
One way or another.
Yeah, one way or another.
And how long you been doing this music thing?
I've been doing music since I was like 7, 6. It's a long time.
Did you start in like the choir? Did you start making
Um,
poems? Because everybody, a lot of artists, they have like singers. Most of them say, "Oh, I grew up singing in the church." You know, a lot of rappers say, "I grew up writing poems." So, but you do both. So, like,
it's a little mixture of everything. Like, life. Let me just start off with that. Just that one word, just life, and that's how I started. I started with life.
okay, that's deep.
It is.
You grew up poetic.
I don't try to be. You know, we all go through things, you know, growing up, especially when you're young, you know, and you just feel like, this person don't really understand. And when you vent into a person, you know, that person always got like something to add to it. And it's like, I'm not looking for your add-ons. I'm just looking to get it all out. You get what I'm saying? So
Like similar to what you were saying.
yeah, pretty much. So I started off just like singing and writing songs like in my room, like nobody knew. I used to battle rap back in the day a little bit. It's not really my lane these days, but that's really how it all began. Like I just was going through a lot at a young age, and I started writing and just like putting all my emotions on paper. As I grew up, you know, I did do the church choir.
Okay.
I was like the person all the way in the back though, so even on the choir, nobody knew I could sing. Because I was like super shy, like my stage fright even to this day. Just be like,
But you just walked in here like the man when you come through.
I don't know what you're talking about. Whatever do you mean? No.
You told me you was bringing your phone and your coffee onto my stage, my sets.
I mean,
You seem pretty confident to me.
Well, you know, you can't, as an artist, we can't go nowhere without our phones.
We left our phone.
Okay.
Over there,
Y'all let me down.
behind the scenes.
They let me
But
down.
they're not artists.
Well,
You
look,
are.
they
It's
let me
different,
down.
I
I
guess.
mean, we all artists in our own little way though. We just different.
Until it comes time to
Yeah.
get your phone to be on.
Yeah. I turn it over for you.
Just spin it
Like,
like.
it is there. It ain't.
Because now you advertising Apple.
I can't even sit up the little
But go
forbidden
ahead.
fruit. But I mean that's how it all began.
Okay.
I got older. I started singing in a choir. I got like hella stage fright. Can I say hella? Can I say hella?
Of course.
Okay, I got like hella stage fright. So nobody ever knew I could sing. My cousin was like a whack ass rapper. Can I say that too? All right, cool. I had this cousin.
You already said it.
Okay, cool.
But yes, you can.
He was like a whack ass rapper, but him and a good friend of mine's from like middle school. What's that school before middle school? Elementary school. There we go. They used to write a lot. So, you know, I started hanging out with them, and they kind of introduced me into like the rapping thing.
Okay.
For me, I didn't know I was rapping. I was just writing.
Right.
And that's how, you know, I kind of really, watching them do it, got a little serious because they was older, you know, in the studio and stuff like that. So I was like, I think I'm better than you.
Oh.
No, I'm saying I'm
No, you are. But you called him a whack ass rapper for
He
your
was
rap.
a whack ass rapper, but I do appreciate him opening me up to that.
His whackness.
Yes.
Because if he wasn't that whack, then he probably wouldn't have had it in him to help you.
He didn't help me.
Oh,
That's another story. I don't know this woman from a can of paint.
Are we friends?
No, I mean the great.
The cousin that you talking about, right?
Oh yeah, that's not my cousin.
She's sorry. She ain't playing.
Right, she's sorry.
He know I'm talking about him. You know you at. That's why you quit. But I still love you though.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a shout out. Well, we love you too.
Yeah. So going forth, I actually did start doing like poetry, and they used to call me the female poet MC, because I didn't have like I don't want to say typical, but I'm gonna say typical poet flow.
Okay.
They said I had more like a rapper flow, but I was doing poetry a lot, and yes, I was doing poetry. I was singing on stage, getting all my pre-bug jitters. It's a lot.
And you saying you still have stage right now? So
Oh, yeah.
we talking, you saying way back when? So how long ago we talking? You saying you've been doing this since you was 7 years old?
Stage right.
How old are you? Or you don't want to tell us how old you are?
No, we're not gonna release that on camera.
Okay, but you're clearly not 7.
Yeah, we're not 7 anymore. But no, I still do got stage fright. I think it's a good thing now. Like back in the day, like I was terrible. I wouldn't say I broke my stage fright, but I broke out some of my anxiety, because like one of my first ever like big shows, I was actually featured, and I was singing on stage, and I had to turn my back to the crowd, and I felt like that was like so rude. Yes, I know.
I would have been throwing tomatoes at you like, turn around, bitch.
But the crazy part is, like after the set, I was like, oh, you did good. I'm like breaking down, I'm crying behind stage. But it kind of made me face forward.
Yeah.
But I still got stage fright. Like I got super anxiety.
So that's just anxiety. I don't think that's stage
No, I get
fright.
stage fright.
No.
Yeah, I don't even be wanting to go on stage, but I get up there though.
And you kill it. You just had a performance this past weekend.
I did. It was super dope. I had some folks come through, pay tribute. But yeah, I enjoyed myself. It was a nice little venue.
And you getting it popping.
Sort of. I'm still working on that.
Why do you say that?
I mean, you know.
I mean, there's always room to grow. We all have room to grow, of
Exactly.
course.
Exactly.
Okay.
So your popping ain't my definition of popping.
Because I might be talking low key popping.
Yeah, I feel like I'm low key popping. I feel like I'm definitely underrated. I'm definitely slept on as as an artist in general, especially as a singer.
Okay. But then you also turn your back to the crowd when you sing.
No, that was then. This is now.
What do you feel more confident when you sing or when you rap?
It's not really about what I feel more confident doing. It's about what I'm trying to express.
Okay.
I feel like certain things, like me singing, I can express better than when I'm rapping. Like everything's not for everything.
Everything's not for everything.
Everything's not for everything. Like
Write that down. I think I like that little singing.
a little
Gives
bit.
me a little-
I'm not about to sit here and rap about my latest heartbreak, but I'll sing it to you.
Okay.
But I will like rap. Like rapping for me is more about like my personal life, my upbringing, my trials and my tribulations, my
Okay.
struggles. Whereas though singing for me is more about like it's like the sensitive side of me, which you're not gonna get from me rapping. You'll hear about like some of my pain, some of my heartache, just struggles that I had to overcome in different things, different things.
Right.
So it's similar, but it's still opposite.
Well, that makes sense. Okay. Well, of course, I'm glad that you all are here. I really appreciate it. I did want to have them all, of course, introduce themselves separately so that you guys can get to know them individually before I get all up in their business and have them answer any questions or whatever. But I named today's show Against All Odds because I feel like, number one, you guys are all different. Y'all are all in different, areas, aspects, but I feel like, in everybody's venue, whatever direction you're taking, there's some adversity here. You know what I mean? It's something that you're trying to get past, and we all have those roadblocks. Me personally, I feel like lately, I know I spoke about it today. If anybody saw it or whatever, just the competition piece. A lot of people are having that issue. So, Musa, I'm sure you probably can attribute to that. Just with like you were even talking about with the Instagram comments. What do you feel like right now? Or is the odds, just trying to get to the next level? Like you've done a lot, but of course you're trying to.
I guess just for me, probably more just intrinsically than where really I don't worry too much about other people.
Okay.
For me, the struggle really is just staying motivated because this is all I do. I just do comedy. I don't have a traditional job.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if I'm out on stage, then where I don't eat, the kids don't eat. So I think the difference of I think being an entrepreneur or having a 9-to-5 job always correlated to like high school and college. You know, high school people are, you know, just like when you have a job, you know, they're riding you, you don't go to class, they call them home, your mom, everybody's kind of on your back about it. When you're in college, don't nobody care.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't go to class, ain't nobody calling your phone, you know, nobody really cares about it. So I think when you are pursuing something you don't really have a traditional job, the battle is really just staying motivated to stay on the grind, to keep reinventing yourself and keep trying to create content. To me, and especially in the industry that I'm in, like content is king. So whether that's, you know, skits or you know, writing new jokes or just creating memes or whatever it is, it's like constantly having to stay on there because nobody's waking me up at 9 o'clock to kind of go anywhere. So it's still treating that time. When I started understanding, when they say like your time is valuable, your time is money, it's still treating that same 8-hour block that you would give to a job and applying it to whatever your craft or career is. So I think that's more what I constantly struggle and battle with as well.
Oh, I like that. And I like what you said, that high school versus college analogy. I've never actually heard that for whatever reason. All these entrepreneur little seminars I've been through, why have I never heard that? I love that. Because that's really true. What about you, Akea?
I don't see competition. I just mind my business. So I just do what I do, and what's for me is for me. So I'm not worried about what you're doing. I'm not trying to overshadow or outshine anybody.
Right.
I feel like I bring my own energy and my own expertise to what I'm doing. I'm in my lane. I'm not trying to, you know, move over here and sing. I'm not trying to tell a joke.
Right.
I'm trying to do what I can do. I find my niche and I perfect it.
Right. But so then also I wanted to ask you, but you don't want to write any more books. So like, do you not coin yourself as an author now?
I am an author because I have a book, but I do not think that. I mean, just like if it comes to me, it comes to me. I'm not set out to write books.
Okay.
I'm not even making. This was really to get the word out. I'm not making money off of this book.
Right.
So it's really not something.
It's
that
more
I'm
purpose
doing.
driven.
Yes, it's definitely purpose driven. It's something that that's what I was going to say, that I did for a purpose, and not to like stop working and, you know, sell books or no. This is something that I wanted to get the word out. I think it's something that people should know, and that's kind of my thing. Like I do what I think works, and it's been working for me for this long.
Miss?
Oh wait, it's my turn?
Yes, it's your turn.
I mean, competition is nice, but I have to like kind of agree with what they both said. I am in competition, but only with myself.
Right.
Definitely only with myself. Just to be better than who I was, to be better than who I am, so I could become who I'm trying to become.
Yes, y'all dropping all the jewels. Y'all got the wordplay is serious up in here. Say it again.
You really want me to say it again?
You don't remember.
It was improv. That wasn't scripted.
It wasn't scripted, but I mean, I could definitely replay it if I need to replay it.
Yeah, if you could, just because, you know, the way my...
Okay, I got you. I'm in competition to become better than who I was, so I can be better than who I am now, so I can become who I'm trying to become.
Heavy. I like it.
Thank you.
So what's the adversity that you're facing? Like, granted, you're not in competition with anybody, but then how do you become who you're trying to become and whatever?
Who I'm trying to become is just to be better. It's just, to me, it's always room to be better. Like, I'm not the best singer, I'm not the best rapper, but I don't care about the next singer or the next rapper. I might like a person's music,
right,
but it's about being better for me. It's not to be better for anybody else. It's not to be better than anybody else. You know,
right.
It's just, how can I improve my writing? How can I improve my stage presence? How can I take something that I've already talked about that I didn't finish the story to? You get what I'm saying? How can I take the things that I've never talked about and really put them on wax to really chime on or get out what it is that I feel or that I've been through? Because, you know, my music is definitely personal. It's very personal. But at the same time, just because it's personal doesn't mean everything that I feel was there.
Right.
You know, so it's just about being better for me. Yeah. Always want to be better, always want to do better, and just, I don't know. If you hear me, you hear me, and if you don't, it don't mean what I'm saying is still not going to be said.
Right.
It's always going to be said. If I don't say it for nobody else, I'm just Gotta do it for myself.
Yeah, because that's a lot of the struggles now. Whether you're a comedian, even with authors and artists, and even myself, that concept of the audience. Like you said, you're not doing this to make any money. You needed to get the word out, and the people who need to hear it and who need to read your book are going to read it. You know what I mean? And the people who are receiving your information, and that's, I know, something that a lot of people lose sight of. It's just like we're just trying to focus on, especially now, how many followers you got and how many likes you get and how many views and all that. And it's just like you kind of, a lot of people miss the content piece. Like Moose was saying, you miss the idea that you actually have to have content. It has to be something worth listening to. And if only 5 people are listening, you still got that point across. So I like that you guys all kind of didn't mention that, because that's what, sad to say, a lot of like up and comings are so focused on, like everybody's just so focused on, the likes and this and that, and and just get so lost, and then you just doing a whole bunch of bullshit, i.e., blackface comedy, and you know what I mean, writing any old thing, and singing about any. I know the music industry is really, really like, Jesus, what are y'all talking about? So that's definitely something I wanted to know. Like, what Akea, you kind of touched on what inspired you to write your book, but I wanted to get from you guys, like, what were your inspirations beyond getting into where you are now? Like, Akea, I know you're saying like, well, I'm not an author and I just kind of felt that, but do you feel more compelled at this point, with having that story, just being able to, like, with your organization, I guess, but your organization doesn't seem that it's real domestic violence driven. It's more like channel toward like kids and stuff, right?
Yeah, so it's not I am a domestic violence counselor on top of having this organization. So this is kind of like a double thing for me. So I live, breathe, eat, sleep domestic violence from 8
Because that's
to
your
4
job.
Right.
Okay.
And then my organization, of course, I have some teens who I come across in the organization that I might counsel or help with issues relating to domestic violence. But in my honest opinion, if I feel like it's too much or it's too personal to me, I will refer them out.
Okay.
Because I don't want Akea's heart to be driven around domestic violence. This is something that's incorporated in it. It was something that was a part of my life, but it's not going to define who I am.
Okay.
So that's something that my organization and the inspiration behind me starting Akea's heart was simply to be able to help youth with consistency, having a consistent person in their life that no matter how many foster homes you've been to, how many placements you've been to, this one person or this organization has always been here, and that can remain in a person's life. So it's all about consistency. That's something that growing up I had it, but I didn't have it. I looked for it.
Okay, so that's as far as the organization. That's where it all is rooted through.
Yes, just having someone feel like, okay, this person, I can go to this person.
And what about you, Mister?
The inspiration?
I mean, because I know you said like you toured with Kevin Hart so early in your career and this and that, and of course now Kevin Hart's like the comedy king of Philly and all that. But
I think just my family. I'm the baby of 6 kids, so it was pretty funny growing up. I mean, my mom, my dad, my dad was like, went from the gangs to Vietnam to prison to parenting. So it was
straight
like
that.
it was a smorgasbord of stuff in there before he had kids. So it was always like he was a character. So we always kind of had so many different personalities. 3 boys and 3 girls growing up.
Okay.
So I think a lot of that inspiration just come from, like you said, in high school. It always kind of was there, and just who you just naturally are, and then you just figure out a way to walk in that purpose for the most part. So I think the motivation really just came from me always enjoying what comedy did, not knowing exactly what it was, but I just enjoy making people smile and laugh and just being silly, and then just getting that opportunity to be like, okay, can be something, know. So just that double dare just kind of like changed my life.
Yeah,
so you gotta follow your double dares out there. Somebody double
really
dare.
though, because I'm about to start daring people to do stuff.
You can't dare, you gotta double dare.
Oh, double dare.
The dare is not gonna get it done. You gotta double that down, and then that they forces them to step up. So I double dare you to write part 2 of this. Mommy, go back to sleep. Patent pending. Okay.
Patent pending.
That's the part 2 is Mommy go back to sleep because she woke up now.
Because she didn't wake up.
That's okay. You giving the plot points away.
You doing it wrong.
Okay, mommy, wake up.
And mommy didn't wake up.
She didn't wake up. Okay,
Oh,
that is true. That's
Now say sorry, because that was...
I apologize to mommy. My daddy can wake up or something.
Right. Or people go put daddy to sleep too.
That's true.
Night night to you too, nigga.
Night.
Everybody going to bed. That's right. And I don't
Daddy goes to jail.
really though. Really though. Seriously. I mean, that's the thing.
You know.
No. She said no.
Daddy locked up.
So I've always been a leader. No one could ever dare me to do anything.
She said ain't no double dare gonna work for her.
Working for you?
If I don't want to do it, I'm just not doing
I can dig it.
Because she said, keep it moving. Next.
it. In real life.
In real life. What about you, Miss Here? Yes, she is fucking with these braids, okay? I mean,
What's the question again?
Dang.
Let's be honest.
you being funnier than I thought. Like, keep the jokes to Moses, please.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to know what was your inspiration and your motivation behind your music and doing what you do. How you do what you do every day.
Pain,
Uh-oh.
struggle, heartache.
Mm.
That's it.
Straight like that.
Yeah.
Right, like do you have everything's so dark.
It's not really dark.
You're such a bright person, a bright skinned person.
See what had happened was the way the one is set up. I ain't make the cut.
You're like a bright skinned person, but you're giving so dark vibes.
I mean, like I'm generally happy. I'm like super happy.
Well, could you bring some of that? Cause you're just giving
Not
everything.
really, because I
But you-
fight people.
Look, she said the sound happy because she fight people. No, she don't
I
fight
don't
people.
fight people. A kid's heart ain't about that.
Not a kid's heart.
Kid's like,
And the other one.
my
Yeah.
nerves like,
Who you once was.
yeah, 30-second and diamond, yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Wait a minute
Here we
now.
go. Okay.
32nd endowment.
You had to put emphasis on the second.
I did.
'Cause that's what she
It's
said.
pretty rough down there.
Really though.
Pretty rough.
So was there? Did anything happen? Because I'm sure you still got connections.
Because I'm just saying, I mean, I don't know nobody.
Don't make no calls. Don't make no calls. We don't
You
even
might have to. It sound like it.
I think her location service is turned on.
I hope
They coming regardless.
Right, they outside. After the show, it's the after party.
No, I couldn't find no parking.
Yeah, me neither. I worked over.
So they probably there.
They just want to know. They just want to make sure you all right.
Right, because it's just like there has to be some
I mean,
happiness
it's
behind it.
always happiness, but if you ask me like what's my motivation, like what's my inspiration, like that's definitely it. Like I've never been like growing up a real talkative person. And I talk in circles when I do talk. Don't nothing ever come out right the first time. Yeah, the second
Because
time.
me to run around. The good run around.
Right. The second time I talk, we good. But the first time I be like, let me write this down. But yeah, it was just. I mean, I'm not gonna say my life was the toughest because it wasn't.
Okay.
I definitely know people that got it harder, and I'm pretty sure it's people that got it harder than the people that I know that got it harder than me.
Right.
But as far as like my inspiration to do music, it wasn't really like an inspiration. It was just how do I get my emotions out without having to be angry outside. You get what I'm saying? Like I've grown up, and inside my life, growing up, I've had to be like a real angry individual because to me, I felt like I was going through a lot.
Okay.
Looking back, I'm still going through a lot, but who I am now compared to who I was, I can say I'm not the same person. But what started me off doing music was the things that I was going through, like my mom not being around. My dad was killed 2 weeks after I was born. So it was just a lot. Like I never felt like I had anybody to talk to. Like I come from a family of 6 as well, so it was just
Y'all got these big ass
we
families.
do. But I was just like the odd man out though.
Okay.
Like all my sisters and brothers had their dad, even though our mom wasn't there all the time. But like for me, it was just if I didn't have my older sister or my older brothers, like I just had me, and a lot of times they wasn't around because they was with their sides of the family. My dad being killed, I never really got the chance to really meet his side of the family and be around that. Later on, my mom had remarried, and it was really just to
So what
get
do
out
you
my
do?
emotions.
What do you do? Because I know you're saying so. You basically use music to get out your negative emotions.
Right.
What do you do when you have happy emotions?
I mean, I definitely put everything on paper.
Okay.
But see, you asked me what was my
No, I
motivation.
know. This is like a secondary question.
Yeah, but it's definitely everything revolves around music for me. Like, as much as y'all think
we're
that I'm like this dark
we
person,
want to make sure.
like,
I think she fraud. She
Listen.
grew up in King of Prussia when the president this is all routine. You know what I mean?
She got one of those. She one of those.
Like, cookies every night. Like, it's like
The baby
I wish.
Yeah,
You know, I was baking cookies for Santa.
there we
you know?
go. There we go.
Yeah, I ain't like him though. I just wanted to steal all his gifts.
That's what it
You know, I
was?
was waiting on him
Got
like,
the
yo,
burner.
we was gonna stick him
Okay,
up.
it was going
We was
down.
taking the reindeer and everything.
Don't
That-
stick
that's
up
the
Santa,
persona
guys.
that
Do
some of
not
us be
condone
having,
this
you know?
conversation. Do not stick up Santa.
Can we keep Rudolph?
No,
That's what
don't
I
keep
want.
Rudolph. Don't
Because
keep
I was
Rudolph.
gonna make him into a skit. He was gonna be my little flying dog.
Damn.
Right. But no, I definitely got some happy emotions. Like I'm really like the
Because Akea is worried and she about to do a consultation for you. What is it called? Like, you take for her.
Because you don't understand. So I've been great.
We need some tissues out here. Because these backstories are sad. We need some tissues.
Right, they
I
are.
need water. I just need some Kleenex or something. Because my eyes is watering up listening to these stories.
Counseling psychology right now. I'm in grade school.
Oh, so you picking through everything
I
she's
got you.
saying.
I got you.
I done already diagnosed you 6 times.
Really though.
Hey, listen. I wouldn't be surprised.
I was about to say, I might need to sit.
I got a lot of names inside my one name, so I wouldn't be surprised
I
if.
wonder what was in that cup of Coke. Yeah.
Right, she did say some good stuff in there. Don't think that damn good. So
It's my little concoction, you know, little remedy, little remedy. But
chill as fuck. Playing with
I
her brains
can't,
like
I
she making a YouTube tutorial about like what? I'm
Come
just
on.
mad all the time.
That ain't what I said though.
I mean, that's what we heard,
Like
right?
no, but for real, anybody
I'm
that know me
turning
personally, they can tell you like I'm probably like the oddest spirit you'll ever meet. Like I'm so random.
You
Like,
are.
I'll be driving and a song will come on. I'll be like, up, let's get it. Like I'll be in the car and I'll be having my moments. But no, like it's definitely some happiness there. Like even in my music, I got like happy songs. I got turn up songs. I even got some that might sound down, but it's still moving. Like it'll sway you. Because everything doesn't have to be about my personal experience. It could be about the experience of somebody else that's close to me.
Right.
But no, I definitely got some. I got a lot of happy moments. Like I'm grateful. I'm extremely grateful. Life is love. Life is love.
I'm going to take you to Dave and Buster's after this.
Listen, we go to DMB. We gonna have some fun.
And she gonna smile, get a little teddy bear or something.
With the laughs and the smiles out.
I'll be like your son. I'll be in there. Look, I'll be in there.
Come on now.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you. You don't
I
want
want
to see me.
after the Amish wings.
We getting
No,
out.
because they getting Amish
We are
wings.
getting some
Hold on,
Irish
wait.
wings.
But they don't put
Military
some on.
discounts.
You got the what?
I got the military discount.
What then?
Right,
There
and
you
so you
go.
didn't talk about being our military because salute our troops. What service were you in, or how do you say that? How do you ask that
What
question?
branch did you serve in?
Or that?
There we go. I served in the Army.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Army was nice.
Did some tours?
I did, you know.
PTSD.
We not gonna get on that. You just want to just throw it all out there for everybody.
I think.
My
Come
mama
on.
is over here.
Chill. I know you going
I
to
am
grad
so-
school.
She said you about to be her, what's it called? Your thesis.
Hold on, y'all ain't got me on the couch. I'm feeling set up right
Look,
now.
y'all need to lay that. She look, you need to lay that
Did
with
y'all set me up? I think you
No.
set me up.
Shit, I'll lay here. Shit. I'll lay down, and she won't take it. This free service, she probably about to charge $600 an hour after this grad school.
That's right. The Army paid for it.
Oh well, I don't have no
I got that
argument.
GI Bill.
So I was okay.
GI Bill.
And I don't got that, so I'll lay right here. Let the kid answer all my questions for free.
I got 6 classes left. You gotta get it while it's free.
I know that very well. Are you about to stay a little
You
bit?
damn near got it. You know, that's there.
Right, but I think if I
Did you get your sauces done? Captain Gale and all that?
No, not yet.
Not yet. When that happened?
I don't even care about that. Just get my degree.
just get the paper, please. You can keep all the other shit. I gotta get my hair done, nails done, everything.
I'm just saying, 'cause if you only got like 6 more classes and you got your cap and gown, pretty much all you really waiting for is the date. It's done.
They just smell me my
Like I might be there, but I might not. I'm just waiting.
Nah,
for
cause
that.
she gonna pull you to the front. They all gonna sit you in the corner. They gonna sit around you.
Intervention like that.
discussion.
Right. So, Exhibit A. But no, because I probably be Exhibit A too. But I mean, I'm so glad that you guys all came. I want to know like what y'all have coming up. What's up and coming for all these amazing people. Like what's up? What's up? Who want to start? You can start sharing.
You better get it.
Okay, he been ready to take his hoodie off since he
thought she was about to get up and work the runway or something.
Right.
I will do that after.
Okay.
Because I am like a little baby model, a little bit.
The little baby
Okay.
model. So that might be next.
Junior Miss.
Right, little baby
What's a
fast.
baby? What's a baby model?
Right, because you ain't
I ain't
nice.
grew up yet.
Okay. That's still like
See,
cell
in there
phone picture.
somewhere.
It's not a real
Oh, so
camera.
you
It's
like
a cell
the
phone
selfies.
picture.
Okay.
Okay.
The iPhone.
Yeah, iPhone.
Yeah, so you know, iPhone pictures ain't regular no more.
Yeah, they ain't.
Not the 10 yet.
I mean, they can't
Not
touch
the
pictures.
10.
So
I don't
I don't like the 10 because it don't have no button.
Yeah, I don't like that either. But if you got
I
the
still
8,
got a 7.
if you are,
I got
if you
7.
close enough, you still got portrait mode. You there?
Yeah.
Listen,
You a
I
model.
seen the billboard.
Oh, but you a model. You ain't know?
Listen.
And you got filters.
I
Everybody.
mean, we already got a backdrop. We can
Right.
Don't turn the camera
Okay,
off.
just Josh Photos. You after this, y'all. Look
But
up.
she done made me take my phone off the tape.
That's true.
You know?
Mhm.
That's
Hey,
what's
what's
up.
coming up?
Yeah.
What's
She
coming
said,
up?
yeah, she is a leader. High five, girl. She said, let's bring this back. Because Jocelyn, you're not doing good with getting these bitches together.
We ain't got all night. That's what she said.
Okay.
My people outside, don't forget.
Right.
No, so,
For you, though.
we
gonna run down those-
I have open enrollment for my community outreach program, which is free. And it's held at the Lynn Center, 10th and Erie. You can DM me, Facebook me, whatever, however it works about that. I have Charm School, but unfortunately Charm School registration is closed. I opened registration up for 25 participants at 12:01 January 1st. At 3:03 a.m. I had 37 applicants.
Wow, that's a blessing.
What's
Charm
that?
School, yes. Charm School is to teach these young girls to stop twerking and to
Yes.
learn poise and etiquette.
Yeah.
Because twerking is not gonna get you everywhere. I mean, I don't understand this new generation. Maybe it's because I ain't got no ass.
But I gotta ask you, I don't know how to twerk, so.
I'm not twerking. I mean, I just don't
That's
understand
what
what
you
they
do.
Girls is gonna. What about their mothers? You got a twerk class
So
for
the-
that?
That's what I was gonna say, because the moms twerk, but the
The
little
kids
girls
are
are
not
not.
twerk.
the kids are watching the parents twerk and they think that it's cute. Now, I personally like twerking. I just don't, I ain't that good at it. But I mean, I feel like it's a behind closed doors thing. It's not something that you should be displaying for everybody.
Come on now.
That's what I think.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
the purpose of Charm School is to teach the young ones this etiquette and this poise and to how to become a woman in this society, and they can hopefully take it home and show
That's
it.
important.
She
though.
trying to teach them the Malia vibes. That's what she giving them.
Give them a good night on them.
Yes.
I
Those
have
wholesome
two.
girls.
I have two daughters. I have
Oh.
an 11-year-old and soon to be 8-year-old, and I just don't want them. And my 11-year-old can twerk like nobody's business.
She better than me. My
She
bad
don't
girl.
have a
That's
I
in
mean,
society, though.
but it's not something that I taught her, right? It's just something that she's
Mhm.
learning. So I need to be a parent and make sure that, okay, you're watching that and you see that, although you don't have an Instagram or Facebook, however you see it,
Right.
I'm going to make
Obviously,
sure that I instill in you some morals and some goals. So that
What's the
on top of
ages
that-
for the charm school?
Charm School is from 8 to 15.
Okay. But I think I reached out to you about
Yeah,
that
so
to
about
participate in.
but like I said, we are.
Because I like to
starting
find
up,
myself, consider myself a nice
A lady.
I think I'm a lady.
There you go. You're a lady with
so-
yours. But if you
I
need
know
somebody
that
to
right
critique
there, so
it,
right
you're
there.
twerking. I'm available. I don't
You're
know
still
what.
trying to get people to come to me as a woman.
I'm sorry.
No, he don't know what that means. We're assuming. See,
Okay.
he got the comedy pass, so I'm sure his wife is probably okay with all of this.
Of course, of course.
What's coming up for you, sir?
Absolutely nothing. I am doing nothing. This was like the pinnacle of my career.
I'm so
I'm
glad.
hoping to be on the Talk to Me Tuesdays too. Next Tuesday, we'll be back. Okay.
Mhm.
You
It's
want to
every
be back?
week.
Is
It's
it
every week.
You want to do a skit? I'm trying to get like that Chris Rock vibe going on.
Come on,
Y'all can do a skit for me.
Like,
He's going to do a skit for me.
Can I
Mr.
play?
Buckley.
Can I play?
Hold on,
I'm an
hold on,
actress,
hold on.
Oh, she an actress in a baby
You
model.
gotta wait. You gotta wait.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Anyway, back to what we were saying.
Ooh.
You heard,
It's
Rick, yeah, but
It's
I
my
know,
show,
but see,
right.
I asked for the skit though.
Well, y'all can talk about that
No, I
after.
need
We got
this
2
now.
minutes.
I
What
need
else
this
is coming
now.
up?
no, so I got a tour coming up in February. It's called the Super Muslim Comedy Tour, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're doing 5 cities domestically and then 5 cities international throughout Australia.
Yes, pink stamps.
January,
Can I go?
February. I'm doing
Is there
all
any
that shit.
tickets?
What's going on? Y'all trying to come on tour?
We
I need
are.
some help selling these T-shirts. Let my
I got you.
Come on now.
You can
Yeah,
get
these
pick up, you get a
New
t-shirt.
York, Fremont, Tampa, and then we're doing Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth, Auckland, and New Zealand. Working on a web series right now that's hopefully going to be dropping next month. It's called It's Always Sunni in Philadelphia.
Oh,
Okay.
I like
You
it.
like that? Because this is Little Mecca. It's a lot of Muslims
It
that live here, okay? So yeah, it's called Always Sunni in Philadelphia, so y'all look out for that. And I'm working on this part 2 of this book. I don't know what you talking about, but we're going to do it.
Look, we gonna write it.
Yeah, we're going to write it together.
All right,
There we
and
go.
she can sing too.
All right, Miss Hello. What's up next?
Oh,
You
well,
play.
we got the album coming this summer. It's called Organized Mess. So look out for that.
That's a good title.
That's a good title.
I got this little mini tour coming up. I'll be in New Orleans next month. I'll be right after New Orleans. It's a 5 city tour. I'll be in London, California, DC, and Atlanta.
Yeah.
So that's definitely dope. I'm super excited about that. Got the brand popping off, Mood Collection. That'll also be dropping this summer. Got 2 new videos about to drop, Babylon, and I got Upgrade coming out. I think.
And then that skip with Moses the comic is dropping too.
Of course.
I mean, that's
Well,
what
of
I'm
course,
going
guys, make sure that you follow all of today's guests. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank all of my guests for joining tonight. See you next week on for the season finale. Season 3, season finale, it will be Girl on Girl Uncensored Part 2. The couples.
I'll be here. I'll be
So
here,
make
girl,
sure-
girl, and guy.
Make sure y'all tune in for that. I love you guys. Good night.
Bye.